How you doing? You good? I'm good. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mario Lago. And I like to make videos where we talk about ways to fight with depression and anxiety. And win for a change. Yeah. Today, though, what I'm going to talk to you about is a little bit tricky. It's called victimhood. If you're curious, it's the term was coined from a book that I read called Coming Alive by Phil Stutz and Barry Mitchells. If you can find yourself a copy, good, because it's a really good book. Anyway, the point is, there's a term in there called victimhood and I like the words because victimhood is a good word that really sums up what I'm going to talk to you about today. And I wasn't kidding when I said it's tricky. The reason why victimhood is so tricky, is because it is probably one of the most in-depth, well-built-in habit that we have to such a degree that half the time we're doing it, we don't know we're doing it. We don't realize it because we're so used to it. It really anchors a person down, which makes it all the more important that we talk about it. So what is that? What's victimhood? Well, I'll start by saying it this way. Everybody wants to be special. Everybody wants to be known for something. And throughout our lives, not everybody finds something that they think they are special about. We all are, but not everybody finds what it is. You know what I mean? Some people have that special thing, or rather, we all do. But when I say some people, I'm talking about the people who don't find it. And one of the most common substitutes is actually something that leads to victimhood. Victimhood is when we perceive our luck to be so bad that we think we're pretty much cursed. Victimhood is basically when you decide that what you should feel special about is that you're apparently somebody who's been more or less singled out and thrown into a cage for special punishment by the universe or something stupid like that. And that is, like I said, it's a heavily tethering thought, if I'm using that term correctly. It's very common, which is why it's important to talk about, because it's one of the strongest long-term causes of depression and anxiety, is when we get used to thinking that we're just cursed and that it's okay that things go badly, and then we start thinking that things should always go badly because that's what's normal in our heads because we're so used to it. That's victimhood. It's basically playing the victim professionally. Okay. Here's the thing. It's not a good idea to get stuck in the thinking that it makes you special to turn yourself into a museum of wounds and scars that you can show off to people. You know what I mean? Like when somebody says, oh, this thing happened to me today. And then you'll notice, especially in a room of people who have this habit a lot, you'll notice that if you get a big table of 10 people who have that habit, once a person says, I had a bad day because of this, or this happened to me, you'll notice that everyone else will sort of start taking turns saying, well, here's what happened to me, which is worse. And then the next guy will be like, oh yeah, well, here's what happened to me, which is even worse. Like they're showing off bad luck like it's a prize or a medal. Okay? That's what victimhood is. And that's not a good thing. It's very horrible, specifically because how easy it is to do it, how easy it is to fall for doing it long term, and how hard it is to catch ourselves in the moment when you're doing it. Victimhood is something that you have to get used to catching yourself doing. Okay. So, how do you fight victimhood? How do you do it? Well, me, I'm the kind of guy who's always dealing with this stuff, right? I've read a lot of books about it, and I've developed my own little tricks for it. But yeah, there are little things that you can do to start with fighting with victimhood so you can stop the anxiety and depression that it causes, because it's probably one of the biggest primary sources of the two things that are depression and anxiety is from victimhood, that habit. First of all, one of the things that you can do is to do a quick meditative breathing session. And when I say quick, I mean real quick, like a really fast little slow down, breathe, notice where you are, notice what is around you, who is around you, what you are doing, and that's it. Ground yourself, okay? Force yourself to remember that you can only be in the present, in the moment. The past is always gone, in the future you can't touch it. At all times you're living in the frame that is the moment, the present. What you can do is you can develop yourself any kind of exercise. You can actually be really creative with it too, because you get to pick what kind of exercise it is. It could be anything, any thought that's a good thought, any thought that's nice, that will ground you to the moment. When you notice yourself having many negative thoughts in a row, like one after the other, you want to develop an exercise that will kill the momentum every time it tries to build up. When you notice yourself doing it, stop, do the exercise, and then make sure the momentum stays dead. You know what I mean? For me, it's a little meditative exercise that I like to do, that I obviously learned from a book again. I read those a lot. Trust me, they help. You want to do it too. Anyway, probably talk about that in another episode, reading books. But yeah, pick an exercise. It doesn't have to last long. It could be 30 seconds. It could even be 10. Just like a quick thing that you do. Because that's a very good way to start fighting with victimhood, is catching yourself when you do it. Catching that momentum and stopping it with a good 10 to 30 seconds of breathe in, breathe out, lower your heart rate, try to calm yourself a bit, and remember that you are now. You're not then or will be, you are only now. Now is the only thing you could ever be. And that's just one of many. There's plenty of things you can do. You can even bring yourself a reminder. I did that once. I had a little drawing. I made a little card, a funny little card with a little drawing, that every time I looked at it, I would remember to stop the negative thinking, like a pinch. Pinch yourself. You stop yourself. Heck, pinch yourself if that's what really works. Do that. But get into the habit of always killing the momentum of negative thinking that you do, that is almost always caused by long-term victimhood. Getting used to playing the victim like it's something that makes you special. It doesn't make you special because of how common it is. Let that occur to you. Let it occur to you that it's so common that it's not really special. It's gotten to the point where it's special not to have it because it's so rare. Okay? So get into the habit of letting that go. Let go of your victimhood. Okay? If you think life can't get worse, it can always be worse. And better yet, it can always be better. So think about how to do that. Heck, think about it after you're done your little exercise. So let me know what you think about our talk. And heck, like and subscribe if you want. It's up to you. And get back to me whenever. Leave any kind of comment. Doesn't matter. I relish feedback. And until then, peace out.